All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing our next review for this week's episode of The Walking Dead World Beyond. This is for Season 1, Episode 7, Truth or Dare. Alright, and possible spoiler warning if you are worried about that for this kind of thing. I know a lot of people are just watching these reviews for Walking Dead World Beyond, and they are just getting them as like a recap for what happens in each week's episode, because a lot of people have already kind of stopped watching the series. So this is the 7th episode of the first season, and finally we get a really good one. This was definitely, I want to say, the best episode of Walking Dead World Beyond they've done yet. We are now 7 episodes in, so that's a bit of a stretch to get a really good episode, I feel like. I definitely have to say that this is certainly the best one they've done yet. Definitely better than the premiere episode or any of the first few. So we get a pretty cool episode with this one in that it's called Truth or Dare. So we basically have the Walking Dead World Beyond group go to with Percy and his uncle, I think it is, the guy he's with. And they go to one of the CRM's kind of drop-off spots. So CRM, as we've seen in Fear the Walking Dead recently as well, too, and even last season with Althea, they have these different refuel drop-off spots that they will go to. So they will, leave fuel at certain spots, and then they will fly in with a helicopter to pick it up to refuel when they need it. And they have certain checkpoints in terms of organization as to where those spots are. So in this episode in World Beyond, we see the group actually go to one of those spots in order to take the fuel to be able to use it for their truck, or Percy and his uncle's truck that they have. It kind of turns to nighttime, and so as things kind of go towards night, the kids decide to play Truth or Dare, have some drinks, and kind of have some fun, which is probably much needed after the episodes of them kind of being out there in the world, not being prepared to deal with zombies or walkers, and having a difficult time sort of surviving. And then also maybe a bit of a bonding experience because you have Percy kind of joining this whole thing. But you have Silas, who has some obvious reservations with that. Now, we get the sense in this episode that there looks like that there might be kind of the start of a possible relationship between Iris and Percy. But as part of that, Silas is envious of Percy, maybe jealous, or he's unaccepting of that. And so he, in this episode, now this part does contain spoilers. If you are really worried about that for World Beyond, you can watch it. But I don't know how many people are actually that worried. I think the most of us just kind of want to get a sense of the story, which is why a lot of people are watching these videos, just to get the recap part. So kind of the big twist at the end of this episode, or the reveal, is that in sort of an attempt for Percy to maybe try to make a pass at Iris, he doesn't show up. And so then Iris kind of goes and starts looking around, and pretty quickly finds Percy's uncle dead on the floor with his face pretty much smashed in. And I don't think we can see Percy there at that moment, but I think the episode is supposed to be alluding to that he has also likely been killed. So we'll see if that's the case, or just what happens with that. But then we find Silas. We find Silas's weapon there, the big wrench thing that he has. And we find him kind of hiding with blood on his hands and the whole thing. So we are to get the impression that Silas has actually snapped, lost it, and killed Percy's uncle, and maybe possibly also killed him too, which I think we'll find out next episode, or maybe I just need to check it back again if that's where they're going with that. But it seems like it, because Percy never showed up. So we get the sense that Silas has probably killed both of them. So this was a very kind of a twisted twist. It was twisted because we have never seen any behavior like that from the kids. We got the sense that the kids were somewhat harmless. They had sort of alluded to the fact that Silas was a bit dangerous. Obviously he's big, especially for his age. He's huge for his age, and I think in some scenes when he's walking next to Felix and Huck, I think he's even bigger than them. So he's definitely a big kid. And the fact that he's unstable, or the fact that he's going to do something like that just out of jealousy or what have you, is pretty twisted and kind of awesome. So, so pretty quickly here, Silas becoming kind of or being revealed. Maybe he always was that, and kind of we saw that in sort of some of his flashbacks. But it being revealed here to see that he's not right is pretty crazy to see, and to think that he would do something like that just because he has maybe some feelings for Iris, and that he's jealous of Percy, and kind of a possible startup there for a relationship between the two of them is really crazy. So that stuff was kind of wow. I was very shocked. I was very surprised to kind of see that. Because, again, World Beyond, we're 7 episodes in, and we haven't seen anything like that yet. So finally, to get to see something, really crazy like that happen, or to see something like that happen with one of our survivors, our characters in World Beyond, I think is really great. So definitely making Truth or Dare the best episode that they've had yet. Now, in addition to that, we also had somewhat of most of the episode was a Huck concentration, and we get flashbacks of her with her time in the military as a Marine, and in this whole thing, when the zombie apocalypse was first starting, her being on duty, and them getting the orders to have to basically kill everybody, or kill all the civilians, kill everybody. They get an order at some point here in the flashback sequences. There's parts of her kind of drinking with her fellow Marines and whatnot too, but they get an order to basically clean house at a point in this flashback, and there's women, children, the whole thing. So instead of Huck and the other Marines firing squad on innocent women and children that they're supposed to protect, she kind of turns coat on them, and she shoots her fellow Marines and kills basically the whole unit, we get the sense of, and then frees the civilians to be able to get them out of there instead of having to kill them down. As the zombie apocalypse is taking hold, you have zombies everywhere, you have people everywhere, and a lot of them dying, a lot of them turning. So I guess at that point the military wasn't sure what was going on, so they got an order to basically wipe everybody out. Also, there's a part where her and Hope run into this kind of guy by himself, and he sort of is hurt. Something's wrong with his leg. He's either been bitten or what have you. And so he puts a gun to Hope. And we have Huck, who kind of talks him down and then kills him to save Hope and save herself, because he's so unstable. So some awesome flashback sequences in this episode, even one with Huck where she uses is it infrared, or she uses those to see, and you can see the temperature between walkers and then the people, which was really cool. And a nice twist for her that it's revealed that she killed her own unit, and that she actually cut her own face to scar herself, or to mark herself, feeling guilty for what she had done before by killing her unit off. So actually, this was a really good episode for Walking Dead World Beyond. It definitely is the best one they've done, and I thought it was promising for the future of it, to say, well, okay, there are a good number of episodes here that obviously are not that great. You have kids in the treehouse and whatnot and whatever. But this episode here really made me feel like, wow, okay, but actually they can do some really good stuff here in World Beyond if they set their mind to it, if they want to. And sort of I got lulled into a false sense of security in the prior episodes of this being like a CW series, and they did something in this episode that was really surprising to me. So this will be my highest score for a Walking Dead World Beyond episode. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was great. And that's really saying something, considering the momentum we came into this episode with was not great. I was comparing episode 6 to Z Nation and this whole thing. But I'll be interested to see if Percy is in fact dead 100%, or if what happens with that, what they're going to do with Silas going forward, because he's apt to become pretty easily emotional and brutally kill people over something that really is not probably that big. I mean, it might seem like a big a deal to him at that time, but from my perspective, and probably from most of our perspectives, was really not that big of a deal over just maybe Iris having some little fling with this guy that, who knows if it would have worked out or not anyway. Probably not. So, a great episode. Very surprised by this episode. Best episode World Beyond has done yet. And I hope that the next couple episodes, we've got a few left. I think they're doing a double finale, so they're doing 9 and 10 together. So we just have a couple weeks left of World Beyond. But if it continues like this, then I'll be happy if they actually finish, if they are able to complete season 2. Anyway, that's it for this review, guys. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments below. If you liked it, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite, and you can subscribe at the bottom left if you do. So for this one, see you guys again soon for another video. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace later, guys. See you soon.